So this is day 34 in Cuenca, Ecuador. Katie is up. She's not very happy this morning. It's 8 a.m. She has yet to have breakfast. We're waiting for our veterinarian to come pick us up. She's going to get out of the house today for the first time in 34 days. Gracie also is not very excited about the outing. She's also sitting here pretty hungry as well. And we're looking forward to getting these dogs out and having them see something different. They've been cooped up for a while. Now, as we travel the world and go to different countries, we'll be going to different places and looking at the cost of living. So today we're exploring the cost of veterinarian care here in Cuenca, Ecuador. As you are probably aware if you watched our previous video about moving out of the country with the dogs and taking them with us, we had quite a few hurdles that we had to go through in the States to bring Gracie and Katie along. Katie is 9, Gracie is 15 and a half. Here's Gracie today. She's looking healthy, she's looking chipper. She's in some overgrown grass since during this quarantine coronavirus period there is nobody here in Ecuador cutting grass, so it's above her. But it wasn't always like this. Just a few weeks before we were due to leave the country, Gracie started having convulsions and going into seizures.
It's okay, babes. It's okay.
We were afraid she was going to be put down. We had a quality of life assessment done on her. We were seeing a vet preparing their paperwork and trying to prepare them for their international travel. That particular vet misdiagnosed and did not see some of the signs and the blood work that was done when we brought the girls in for their initial checkup. We went to a second vet where some different things were identified, like low blood sugar. Once we were able to identify the low blood sugar situation with Gracie and also get her some prednisone, she became a new dog and was able to start living life the way she was before. We were afraid she wasn't going to make the trip, but here you see her in Ecuador running around with Katie in the courtyard, and we made the right decision. We got her some medication, we got her situation identified, and she's healthy and she's with us now. On our way to the vets. Cats. Gracie in my lap. So in the United States, we had quite a few bills. If you saw the last video we did regarding international travel with dogs, that amounted to about $2,800. A little less than $800 of that went towards the international travel certificates for the 2 dogs and the requirements that were needed to fulfill to let these dogs travel outside the U.S. and to come to Ecuador. The other $2,000 went to bills that we were not anticipating. The vet we were seeing for the international travel certificate, which has to be a U.S. Department of Agriculture certified veterinarian to approve the certificates, did not identify properly the situations that were going on with Gracie, and we paid for medications that were not needed, as well as medications that were wrong that caused additional problems. One had to do with a slight eye injury that were made worse by a cream that was given for the eye that had a steroid, which should not have had a steroid included, as well as a identification of a potential problem with Katie's anal glands. She believed that a small nodule she felt was cancer. We had to go through additional tests and a small little biopsy surgery for Katie, all of which came back benign, so that really was not necessary. So after a short drive, we arrived at Cuenca Veterinary La Mia Mascata veterinarian office, and it looked clean. It had everything that a typical veterinarian's office would have. First glance and first impression, we seemed to think everything was there that should be there. Katie and Gracie were coming to the realization that they were at a place that they probably did not want to be, but it was all for their best. The veterinarian assistant took Gracie and prepped her for blood work. And something that surprised me was I did not realize that our driver was actually the vet I thought he was the driver or relative of the vet, but he was actually the vet. So to me, that's dedication, having a vet that will come and drive, pick you up, bring your dogs into the office to take care of the work that's required for them. So in this case, Gracie and Katie are both having blood work done. In the US, when we had blood work done, we would have to wait days to get the results. When we were at the US vet for the international certificate, it took us 5 days to get the results of the blood draw and to see the results. And even then, it was misidentified, and the vet did not see the low blood sugar. In this situation, the vet was taking the blood and is going to process it there in the office, and we were going to get results within a short 15 minutes. During the quick turnaround of drawing the blood, he was also able to identify the liver issues that were going on with both of the girls. They were minor issues, but with them being in their advanced age, he was able to identify the correct treatments as well as the correct diet that needed to take place for both these girls to have a long and healthy life.
And her liver was very high, the enzymes.
So we got a quick readout from Gracie's sugar, and her blood sugar is low.
Problems for liver.
So showing some liver issues. So this took only about 15 minutes from the time she gave her blood, so very, very quick and advanced here. No waiting.
It's a little problem for liver. It's very dangerous possible for pancreatitis.
Oh, yeah?
He needs a special food.
Okay.
Julie has normally made the dog food for both of our girls and cooked it at the house for them. In this case, there's been a dog food that's being recommended by the veterinarian, as well as some medications for their livers. Both of them had liver issues, so he is giving us some drops that we give 20 drops a day, twice a day to the girls for both of them. Each one of those bottles are only $10. He's also giving some dog Pedialyte for Katie, who is showing a low amount of fluids in her system, so she'll be taking some dog Pedialyte every hour for 2 days while she's awake. There's a special dog food that both of our girls are recommended to have called Royal Canine, and the Royal Canine that is necessary is not here inside of his office. So he is volunteering to take us to the pet store to be able to pick up the correct dog food for both of these girls. So for 2 dogs to go to the vets to have blood work, a checkup, get liver drops, Pedialyte, was $172 in total. And again, this is Dr. Juan Carpio Tamayo at the Cuenca Veterinarian La Mia Mescata Veterinarian office. Commitment. Our vet came and picked us up. It's going to take us now to the pet store before taking us home. Here we go, pet store. You'll notice people lined up to go into the Super Maxi, which is a grocery store here. As a reminder, this is being shot during the coronavirus pandemic of 2020. So the precautions are everywhere in Cuenca to limit the virus from spreading. So the disinfecting of the bottom of the shoes prior to entering the store, and the store being locked, and the owner allowing entry to ensure everybody is disinfected prior to coming in. This is commonplace everywhere in Cuenca. Juan was quickly able to identify the Royal Canine Heptic dog food that was necessary for our 2 dogs. We were able to purchase that at the pet shop and go ahead and go back towards the Airbnb. Overall, Our experience with Juan, our veterinarian here in Cuenca, Ecuador, has been outstanding. We've been waiting on a medication, a prednisone, in a liquid form for Gracie now since March 23rd, since I contacted another vet here in Cuenca. He was highly recommended. He was researching from different labs trying to find the medication in liquid form, and to date has been unable to. One day with Juan in his office this morning, he was able to make some phone calls, and we expect the prednisone to be delivered to our house on Monday. Just a matter of a couple days to get the medication in hand, just in time before her current medication runs out. The girls will be back with Juan next week to have dental cleanings done. Each dental cleaning will be $70 per dog. This is coming in about 5 to 6 times cheaper than what it would cost to have the dental cleaning done in the US. So $140 for 2 dental cleanings for both of our dogs for next week at Juan's office. Juan dropped us off back at our Airbnb and drove off, and we'll again be seeing him next week. We had a very pleasant time with Juan and with his staff at the office. Please feel free to use Juan for your veterinary needs in Cuenca, Ecuador. Also, please subscribe, give us a like, follow along as we travel, and we'll also explore cost of living of different countries, and we'll be seeing other veterinarian offices throughout the world and other countries as we take our dogs across borders. We look forward to having you join us, and we hope you enjoyed this video and that you found it informative. Please give us a like, please subscribe, give us a comment. If there's anything you would like to know about our services that we've received at this veterinarian's office, or have questions about what types of services Juan can render, please let us know, and we'll pass that information on. We've also included Juan's business card in this video, and we'll give his information in the description below. Thank you for joining us.